Good evening, and welcome to the You Don't Know What You Don't Know podcast. This is an educational podcast that provides information on past and present historical events. These are events that shape the perspective of Black Americans and their experience as citizens of this United States of America. In August 2021, we interviewed Jeff Muhammad of Supreme Investors, Land of Our Own. We wanted to check in on Brother Jeff and give him a checkup from the neck up. We found Brother Jeff living in the great state of Arkansas. Sister Cleo and I were, in our inquisitive natures, wondering what kind of progress the group had made as far as establishing their new community. Brother Jeff, we understand you had some challenges. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty good by Allah's grace. Just maintaining each day. Learning more and more about patience. That's what I'm doing. Patience is a virtue, believe me.
What is the name of your organization and what is your mission?
The name of the organization is Supreme Investors, Land of Our Own, Incorporated. And the mission is to unite with our own kind, that we may go and purchase land and become a self-sustaining community.
Do you have a target area in the United States? What's your target area?
Our target area is in Georgia first, but eventually it's going to be all across the United States and eventually all around the world.
Okay. So, you know what? So you said the what is your mission? What is your, I guess, the goal? What is it you're trying to accomplish, to do?
The start of the mission is for a few of us in the Nation of Islam to come together in unity to go and purchase land to build our own community and show the rest of us that we can do this. It's not anything that we have to look at each other as anything negative that we can't do. You know, we always have to be dependent on others to do for us when we can go and do something for ourselves. We want to show and prove that to the rest of our people. And then after we show this, we want to go after the rest of our people and start doing it all over. You know, because the things that are happening to us from other people don't need to be when we can go and do things for ourselves. All of the unemployment, all of the police brutality, all of the racism that's going on with our people, that's been going on with our people since we've been here. It don't have to be when we can just get up and just do something for ourselves.
Brother Jeff, I want to delve a little bit into, you said, so we can do things for ourselves. Can you be more specific when you say do things for ourselves? What kind of things are you going to have in your community?
We want to build our own homes. We want to grow our own food. We want to have wells, that we have our own water supply. We want to have our own solar source, so we will have our own energy. And plus, the main thing is that which we have formed already, is our security team, in which we will secure ourselves from anything that, you know, that challenges us. So, in other words, we won't depend on anyone else policing us. We'll be policing ourselves.
Okay. I have a question on that. Policing yourselves and not depending on anybody else. When I look back at the Wall Street massacre, it was so easy to spot them. And I guess that's my major question for forming our own communities. I want to do that, but it would be so easy to be spotted and to be bombed. And I'm not
Well,
trying to scare anyone away from that. I'm just saying that's one thing that we need to think about.
well, the thing was in Tulsa is that even though we had our own community, we depended on our enemies, to defend us, and that was the
Mm-hmm.
problem. This go around, we'll be defending ourselves. We'll be prepared for anything that comes against us. We will, expect things to happen. So we'll be extra watchful for things that will come against us. Um, Back then, basically, we thought that we can fit in if, we did things for ourselves and depended on the government, depended on the police system that was there to defend us when they were the main culprits that was going against us. So, and they let things like that happen at that time. Well, now there are a few more laws and things that are in place that will help us out. But the main thing is that we will be policing ourselves. We will be protecting ourselves against anything that comes against us.
Jeff, has your
Yeah.
group purchased land yet, or um, are you planning on purchasing land soon? And where will that place be, or what area?
Right now, we are waiting until the end of Ramadan before we actually will start taking money. We just finished our shareholders agreement to where each and every shareholders will be signing. We'll be going after 250 people to sign, and they're ready. But we just didn't want to go into anything without making sure that everything was right and exact, because that's the main thing that the enemy will come against you with, is against your finances. So if everything is not right, then you will be leaving yourself open for them to come in and go against you to close you down. So that's the main thing that they want to come at us with, and that's what we want to make sure that we are right and exact. So we finally got everything done. We use lawyers, we use CPA firms, excuse me. We use all the legal aspects that we can get. And now we have finally got it done, and now we're ready to get it signed and ready to start collecting the money, the investments from the investors that are going to be involved in this project. So we got a few places in Georgia, mainly around the Atlanta metro area, that we're looking at, but we're also looking in other places in Georgia.
And how much land are you thinking about, and how much is enough? What you have an idea what you want to purchase?
We're looking right now, if we're going to do 250 investors, that each one will have a lot of land that they're going to build their homes on. We have to be looking more than 200 acres. Because on this land, as like I said as well, we're going to have our own agriculture, which would include our own energy source that we're going to be having. So we want to need room for that as well. And we also want to put wells on the land. So we want to make sure that we have enough land to suffice all of this. So 200 or more acres should be enough.
Okay. I'm guessing that's assuming that there'll be affordable housing, meaning everybody won't want an acre of land, or everybody won't want 2 acres of land, and possibly all of your investors won't necessarily want to live there. They'll just want to help with the financial part.
Yeah, we've known that, but the thing is, each investor might not want to live there, but they still may want to build a home there, because with that, it can be an extra investment for them if they want to rent out the house or they want to sell the home. We're going to be getting the house built at cost. So if they want to go ahead and resell the home, then they can do that as well. They'll be making a profit from that. So, like you say, you got people that already have nice homes and that are secure, that might not want to live. They live somewhere else. Their family is established wherever, but they can still build a home there and, like I said, do what they want to do with it.
I wanted to mention energy too, because you mentioned the solar energy, and we spoke last year also with I think it's called the Georgia Initiative. They're working on building a community in Georgia as well. But I mentioned to them, sometimes you have companies that are looking for, what do you call it, like a beta test site or, places they can use to test. So I asked them, I said, did they reach out to any solar companies to see, okay, so now you guys have this city you're building, right? Do they want to have you use their product to test it to show that, see, we can run a whole city or we can run a whole community? And they would give you that at a very good deal, reduced price or even free, because you're actually testing for them. So, and I'm mentioning that as a way to get low cost or free solar. And so, like I said, I know a lot of different places do that, but you have to ask. You have to find out what's the solar companies in your area and then reach out to them and see if you can be a beta tester for, their solar system or whatever. Yeah, but I'm just throwing something out there.
Yeah, we appreciate that. But we have a couple of brothers that are involved in that, and they have a few hookups, but we sure appreciate that. We should appreciate that.
Hey, free is always good.
That's right. Free is always good.
Yeah, so if you can get it for free, or like I said, at a good discount, or whatever. And so all those different things would be, it's like check into whatever you can get. Like you said, they're building houses at cost. That's going to be a big savings. And I didn't even think about that. Say if I buy in and I don't want to necessarily live there, I could actually invest or have a home built, sell that home, or I could actually rent that home, and it still would be investment property. So either way, I could invest multiple ways.
Right.
So
exactly.
That's a really good idea.
Exactly.
Give us your 1 year, 5 year, 10-year plan for how you see your community and where you see it in 1 year, 5 year, and 10 years.
Well, 1 year we want to been and raised enough of the investment to actually go and have the land purchased. That's the 1 year. 5 years, we want to make sure that our agricultural part is up and running. Because with this agriculture, the agribusiness that we're going to be involved in, it's not only going to be the land that we're going to be purchasing, but we're going to have land in which we have a few places. We're teaming up with individuals around the country that we're going to be in business with, doing this agribusiness together with them. We have a brother and sister up in Michigan. We have a sister in North Carolina, sister down in Brunswick, Georgia. And there are many people that, in other words, there are people out there that have land from their grandparents, great grandparents, or whatever, that they don't know what to do with. It's just sitting there. So and I'm saying this for other people who are maybe listening to this is some good investment to be involved in. We're going to have to eat, and we can't feed everybody. So it's going to take all of us. So if this is a business that we all can get involved in, that it will work for you financially, and it will work for all of our people, because we're going to need to eat, as we see. And you, like I was telling somebody, I said, you never had the head of a government come before the people and tell them that there's a food shortage. There's going to be a food shortage. that means the other word for that is famine. So it's coming. So how can a country allow that to happen when you have so much land available to grow food? Well, if they're not going to do it, we have to do it. So once we get involved with this agribusiness, it's going to produce food for us, plus the rest of our people, plus the finances is going to help build on our communities that we're going to be building all over.
Sister Cleo, Brother Jeff just spoke about agribusiness, and you were talking to me about somebody coming and talking about agriculture and trying to get young people involved in agriculture because of how important it is, which is basically what Brother Jeff is saying. So can you, I guess, speak to that? Because we need knowledgeable people on agriculture. We need people, like you said, you have people that have land that don't know what to do with it. So we need some people that know what to do. So where's our knowledge source coming from?
Well, that's kind of, it seems from my experience, it's coming from everybody but us. I'm in another other organization that we work with colleges, we work with our kids. Tuskegee University, and I think the other one was University of Alabama. For 3 years, they came to our group trying, almost, I won't say begging, but really trying to get some of the kids interested in agriculture and to get their parents interested. And those 2 or 3 years that they came, they found no interest, because no matter how they tried to explain what farming is now compared to what it used to be, it just seemed to just turn the kids off, and the parents were not interested at all. So we're going to still try. We're going to still try, because they were offering wonderful scholarships. And kids just can't seem to understand it's more to farming than tilling the soil, you know. So anyway.
The problem is that with us in agriculture, there's a mental block because of slavery. Mm-hmm. And when we think about anything of farming or anything like that, we think of slavery. We think of picking cotton. We think of all the things that our forefathers and sisters went through, during slavery. So, but when you, just like I'm here right now in Arkansas, there are a lot of farmers out here, but they're all white farmers, and it's not as negative as you would think. They make millions of dollars from their farms. We don't. That's the part that we don't see. We don't see that part. Only thing that we got locked in our mind is slavery when it comes to farming. But if you own hundreds of acres of land and you are producing a crop that sells good in the grocery markets, think about how much money you can make if you grew greens or you grew beans, and the grocery markets took these things in, and you were able to sell them and in the grocery markets. You're making a lot of money. See, there's more. I watch these channels that they have out here, and the channels is all around agribusiness. So there's more than just sitting up growing crops, picking crops. You have a whole lot. You go to school to do the mathematical part of the agribusiness, and that's all you'll be involved in. You'll be making top dollar doing things like that. We have a brother he specialized in the structure of the agribusiness. And he is very, very talented, very talented. He will show you how to make millions of dollars from the land that you have. If you have nothing but trees on that land, he'll show you what to do to start an agribusiness on this land. If you just got 4 or 5 acres of land, he'll show you how to turn that land into $1 million business.
Let's take a short break so we can come back. And Brother Jeff, you can break this down for us.
See, that part right there, they don't tell you about agriculture. And that's the part that he deals with. We also have a sister that all she deals with is direct contact with the produce and animals and things of that sort. We have people like that. And that's also a great business to be involved in. When you're dealing direct, it's not what they have in our minds is the hard work. I remember when I first came to Arkansas, I remember seeing brothers and sisters out there picking cotton, chopping, we call it chopping cotton, but all you're doing is hitting at the grass that's growing around the cotton plants. And you're making little of nothing. So that's what people look at. But if this is your own land and this is your product, your produce, you're not getting the chicken feed that a lot of our people were getting while doing this work. Remember, everybody put a fork in their mouth every day. I don't care who you are, everybody put a fork in their mouth full of food. And that food can be coming from you. That's what we have to look at. I remember it was a rapper who asked Minister Farrakhan about $1 billion business. And he told him, if you want to get involved in a $1 billion business, get into organic foods. So that's what's coming. That's the way we have to look at it. When our children start seeing that, then they'll start getting interested, just like they were interested in the pimps and the dope dealers back in the days. Now, then they start looking at the athletes. And then they started looking. It wasn't about the talent that they saw. It wasn't none of that. It was the money that was involved in all of these things. It's the money that they think that is involved in being a rapper nowadays. So you're seeing everybody want to be a rapper. You remember back in the days, everybody wanted to be in a doo-wop group, Marlo. You saw on the corners, everybody wanted to doo-wop because they saw the temptation. They saw the fame of the Temptations. They saw all of this, so they wanted to be involved. It was about the fame and the money that they saw. It wasn't the talent, but it was the fame and the money. So when our people start seeing the way that they can really get involved in business with this and make plenty of money, you will start seeing the youngsters want to get involved in it.
Yeah.
Right now, all they see is slavery when it comes to agriculture.
Yeah. So, Brother Jeff, I'm looking at some land in Alabama. And so I was telling my granddaughter, I said, we're going to move down there. She's like, I'm not going down there. I'm not picking cotton. First thing she said. And when you said that, I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, that was the first thing she said. Right. We talking acreage and we talking millions. So I am going to be wanting to find out about the people that you've already contacted.
Yes, ma'am. Please do. Because it's just that, and it came honestly. It came honestly because it came from us. Mm-hmm. A lot like our parents. If you go back California 1960s, 1950s and 60s, there probably wasn't, it was maybe about 5% of the black people that were there were actually from California. I say it like that. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was from the South. Why? They migrated. They got away. Well, you're a child. You're looking at that. Why are you trying to get away? If you're trying to get away, I'm not trying to go there. You see?
That's what everybody asking me now too, Jeff. Why are you trying to go back there?
Exactly. Exactly. Because the simple fact that we're doing that, like I said, doing with agriculture, we saw the negative things that they put us through. We didn't see the positive things that they were getting out of it. We saw all the negative things that we were going through in dealing with agriculture. But now it's time for us to get on that other side to produce, to start getting the big money that they were getting. Because now, if you look around, they're failing. They're failing because a lot of big major corporations are getting involved and they have contaminated the food. And then since they've contaminated the food and they moved a lot of the farmers out of the business, now you see a lot of these, it's like you said, you see some land down in Alabama. Why are you starting to see this land in Alabama? Why isn't that land already producing and doing things? Because they're selling, they're getting out of it. You see, because of most of us, a lot of us are dependent on the food that's in the grocery markets. But soon, and we're starting to see it, there won't be any food in the grocery markets anymore. There won't be any food. Only food that we will be able to see is the food that we produce for ourselves. That's the only food that we'll be able to see.
Well,
So,
I think you're right about that, Brother Jeff, because right now I'm seeing a lot of stores.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really am.
A lot of empty shell, and you're going to see more because President Biden already got up in front of everybody and told them what's to come. And when he's, like I said, if the head man gets up and tell you something like this is about to happen, that's crucial. That's very, very crucial. And everybody's not, acting on it, just looking, because we have become a dependent people. Not just us as Black people, but the whole United States of America have become dependent. And that's something, if I'm set up and I study them, and that's something that rural America did not want to become. They did not want to become dependent of the government. They did not. And they're still fighting the South. A lot of the people in the South are fighting against that. They're really fighting against it. To the point to where they're willing to go to war over that.
I would like to extend a warm thank you to Brother Jeff of Supreme Investors, Land of Our Own, for his edifying conversation on building health and wealth 21st century style.